Hi, Dari. I've been doing some video editing and analysis for some other kids, and I just had your video in here, and I just wanted to point out to your dad, this is what I was talking about. The toss is going too far to the left of your body, and you're getting a pretty severe arch in your back. I'm assuming this looks like a flat serve. So if you just look here, this is really not healthy for your lower back. You're putting a lot of stress on your lumbar spine right here. So the lower spine, and this is a flat serve. This is kind of what some players look like when they're hitting a kick serve. Even then, I'd like to see a little less arch in your lower back, even though I know you're flexible. On the pot, yeah, just your whole body. This is not a kick serve. This is a flat serve or a serve out wide. Look at how your body's angled here. So not only is that not good for your power, also you're going to get a lower contact point. You're not going to be able to reach up as tall because you're basically falling to the left. Your body's like that. So you're not going to be able to reach up as tall, and it's going to reduce your power. But I'm also just concerned about I'm just concerned about what's happening, the repetitive stress on your lower back. There's very high incidence of stress fractures in junior tennis players right now. It's probably the most alarming trend in junior tennis. Is just all of the research and studies are showing that, and the leading sports scientists like Mark Kovacs are talking about how prevalent the rate of stress fractures is in junior tennis, and one of the biggest causes is the arching of the back, or putting stress on the lower back, the lumbar spine. That's where most of the stress fractures are, the L4, L5 lumbar spine area. And so I just think you should please be careful. Try to straighten out your posture. Try to get your toss. I would start by getting the toss more out here, and then trying to get your body more like this, especially on your flat serve. On the second serve, if you're going to hit a kick, you may have a slight bend in your upper back, but please be careful. I mentioned some of the other things, like the elbow is very, very low here. This is not conducive to maximum power. You're not going to get as good of a racket drop and acceleration. The timing of the racket drop and acceleration may be affected here. Look how low. It's just incredibly low by your hip. That elbow should be up here somewhere, and the racket should be probably up here somewhere. The interesting thing about your motion that I found is that even though your elbow is so low here, the actual sequencing is not too bad. And what I mean by that is you're holding this, and then the legs are firing pretty well. See that? The legs here are firing right here, and the racket's chasing the legs, which is actually what you want. So even though that may be why you say it feels comfortable for you, because you're doing the sequencing well, because what most kids do is they drop this early. So the racket goes down early, and then later in the motion, they fire their legs upward. They fire their legs up after the racket drops. But so your actual sequencing is good here. So I don't know how much power loss how much power leak there actually is there, because typically when the elbow drops low, the racket will drop early, everything will kind of collapse. But you actually figured out some kind of magic where you're able to fire the legs and then get good. Look at this external rotation here. It's pretty good. Even though take away the crazy back arch, but this is a pretty good stretch. Maybe you're tight in your shoulder. That's another thing. You may be tight in your shoulder, like your internal rotators may be tight, and you might be trying to get extra ROM through your thoracic spine and through your lumbar spine here. That's another thing to watch out for. So you may be actually trying to get a deeper back scratch and more power, rather than through external shoulder rotation. You might be getting it through trying to get it through your spine, through your lumbar and thoracic spine. So I just think you may want to get a good stretching and mobility program, scap mobility and shoulder mobility program, so you can get a better, if you look here, Yeah, this could be better. Like this elbow could, like right here, this is the limit of your ROM. Looks to me like you might be tight there, because normally you'll see like the elbow kind of angled like that, and then the racket down further, but your elbow's still low here, and you're trying to get ROM, desperately trying to get it, and it doesn't seem like you're able to get it in your elbow, or maybe that's partly due because the elbow is so low from the beginning. You know, it's interesting. Look, elbow's low, elbow's low, elbow's low. All right, here it comes up a little better. Okay, so there's a little bit better here, but a lot of times you'll see a more better stretch there, a better mobility in the shoulder to force that racket down even deeper. And I think you're trying to get some of that from your lower back, potentially. Very interesting. In any event, I would definitely not recommend the elbow being there. Try to get the elbow higher, get a proper drop. I'm not sure if it's hard to say without measuring you whether that's because of your shoulders tight, or if that's just because of the low elbow and it's just kind of low, and so this doesn't look quite right here through here. You're trying to get the elbow up there. I mean, it has to come up at some point, right? It's low, 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 and then it has to come up. I'm sure you get more power, a little bit more power if the elbow is up here. And then as you start firing those legs, because you do have the sequencing great, you fire those legs and you'll see like a much better acceleration. And you'll probably get a deeper back scratch here, and you'll have a better ramp up to the ball, you know. Anyway, kind of interesting motion. Thanks for sending me the video. I always learn from these videos too. It's kind of fascinating how your elbow's super low, the timing's good, and you may have some limited shoulder mobility there contributing as well. But most alarming thing is that bend in your lower back. Please work on that.